The Iowa Hawkeyes take on Wisconsin, 7 p.m. Eastern tip-off at the Kohl Center in Madison. The Wisconsin Badgers are the 2-point favorite at home. Total's 145. And if you like the Hawkeyes in an upset on the road here, they're plus $1.15 on the money line. Now, we went 4-1 in our 5 premium sports picks on my website yesterday. We're also 9-2 in our last $11.99 daily best plays on that site as well. I was on a 2-game winning streak, top 3 in the country in scoring on average per game. Luka Garza scoring 24 points a game along with 8 rebounds and 34 total blocks on the season. Meanwhile, 6'6" guard Joe Wieskamp is scoring over 15 points a night himself, along with 6 boards and 49% shooting from beyond the arc. I was in the top 10 in offensive three-point percentage on the road, and they also averaged nearly 88 points a game. Now, they're taking on a Wisconsin team who's coming fresh off a loss to a fairly inactive Michigan team. The Badgers scored just 59 points in that ball game. Now, the Badgers are also covering the number in just 50% of their home games. Now, total-wise, Wisconsin is 8-6 to the over at the Kohl Center. I was going 12-9 to the over for the entire year themselves. I'm going to lean toward the underdog, Iowa Hawkeyes, +2 in the over 145. All right, next matchup. We're going to stay in the Big Ten. I'm talking about Ohio State versus Penn State, 8 o'clock Eastern start time. The Ohio State Buckeyes are -4.5 on the road. Total's 146 flat. Ohio State's currently on a 6-game winning streak, 80% against the number in their last 10. And the Buckeyes are also covering in 70% of their games away from home, and they score 76 points a night when they travel. E.J. Liddell is scoring 15 points a game along with 6 rebounds and 25 total blocks on the season. Meanwhile, Dwayne Washington Jr. is averaging nearly 15 a night himself, along with 2 rebounds and 3 assists. Washington's also drilling 88% of his free throws. And speaking of free throws, Ohio State is in the top 25 in the nation in offensive free throw percentage. Now, they're taking on a Penn State squad who's dropped 3 out of their last 4 contests, and they make just 41% of their field goals. The Nittany Lions have been victorious in just 7 of 17 ball games overall for the season, and they're giving up almost 74 points a night at the Bryce Jordan Center. Now, total-wise, 6 out of Penn State's last 10 meetings with Ohio State got over the number. The Buckeyes are 8-2 to the over in their last 10 away from home themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Ohio State Buckeyes -4.5 and the over 146. All right, next matchup. It is going to be Arizona versus UCLA, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The UCLA Bruins are -2 at home, numbers 136.5. And if you like Arizona in an upset on the road here, they're plus $1.10 for some money line cash. The Arizona Wildcats have lost 3 out of their last 4 ball games, just 3-5 against the spread in their last 8. Arizona gives up almost 74 points a game when they travel, and they also failed to cover the point spread in 4 out of their last 7 away from their home court. They're taking on a UCLA squad who hasn't lost a game yet at the Pauley Pavilion. The Bruins are a perfect 9-0 as the home team, and they gave up just 64 points per contest during that span. Johnny Juzang's scoring over 14 a night along with 4 rebounds and 91% shooting from the stripe. Meanwhile, Jaime Jaquez is scoring almost a dozen a game himself along with 6 boards. The Bruins are limiting their opponents to just 30% shooting from beyond the arc at home. And when it comes to the total on this one, the Bruins are 11-8 to the over this season. Arizona 5-2 to the over when they travel themselves. I'm going to lean toward the UCLA Bruins -2 and the over 136.5. All right, next contest going back into the Big Ten here. I'm talking about Rutgers versus Michigan. 9 o'clock start time in Ann Arbor. The Michigan Wolverines are -8.5, numbers 136. And after a 3-week period of inactivity, the Wolverines came out and busted up Wisconsin on the road in their last outing. And they actually held the Badgers once again to just 59 total points in that contest. And for those who don't know, Michigan is currently 14-1 straight up for the season, and they successfully covered the point spread 12 times during that stretch. Michigan is in the top 3 in the country in defensive field goal percentage. They're also giving up just 64 points per contest on their home court. Isaiah Livers is scoring 15 points a game along with 6 boards and a couple assists. Livers is also making 92% of his foul shots, and he also drills 46% of his three-pointers. Meanwhile, 7-1 center Hunter Dickinson is scoring nearly 15 points a game himself with 7 rebounds and 25 total blocks for the season. Now, Michigan is taking on a Rutgers squad who failed to cover the number in 6 out of their last 10 ball games. The Scarlet Knights are also scoring just 65 points a game on the road, and they lost 4 out of their last 7 contests away from home. Now, when it comes to the scoring in this one, the Wolverines are currently 60% to the over at the Chrysler Center. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the Michigan Wolverines, minus 8.5, and the over 136. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Colorado versus Oregon, 11 p.m. Eastern tip-off at the Knight Arena. The Oregon Ducks are minus 3, totals 140.5. Now, Oregon's on a 3-game winning streak. Over 76 points a game they're averaging on their home court. Eugene Omori is dropping almost 18 a night along with 5 rebounds and 2 assists. Meanwhile, senior Chris Duarte is scoring over 17 a night himself along with 4 boards and a couple assists himself. A 6'6 guard from the Dominican has also recorded 32 total steals and 13 blocks. The Ducks are holding their opponents to just 28% shooting from beyond the arc at the Knight Arena. Now, they are taking on a Colorado squad who failed to cover the point spread in 4 out of their last 6. The Buffaloes are also just 5-5 straight up as the official road team, and they're shooting just 31% from downtown away from home. Colorado is scoring just 69 points per contest when they travel. When it comes to the number in this one, Colorado's last 3 straight stayed under the posted total, 8-2 to the under as the official road team. Meanwhile, the Ducks saw their last 2 straight stay under the total themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Oregon Ducks minus 3 and the under 140.5. And with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and dive into our quick pick recap. I like the Iowa Hawkeyes plus 2 over 145. Ohio State minus 4.5 over 146. UCLA minus 2 over 136.5. Michigan minus 8.5 over 136. Before I give you my next and final matchup for the show, one final reminder that we went 4-1 in our 5 premium sports picks on my website yesterday. We're also 9-2 in our last $11.99 daily best plays on that same website as well. Give me the Oregon Ducks minus 3 and the under 140.5. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into some shout-outs to our top 10 YouTube commenters over the past couple of days or so. Shout out to Alex Stevens, I Love Sports, John D., Alex Mabry, Carlos Valenzuela, Dro Smith, Dory Tos, Thomas Reason, Jason Cohn, and last but certainly not least, gotta give a shout out to my good friend, Michael Lighty Jr. Gotta love Mike. Mike's been with me for a very long time, and he's pretty good with them one-liners in the comments section. I can't repeat it here on the video, but if you look at one of my last videos, he made a very, very funny comment. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. Gotta thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And have a good one now.